Now remember, there are maps of the legislative district 1 back there. It doesn't encompass, I'll say it right, a good portion of Carroll Coconino County.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody. Sure appreciate you having me here again. I was only here a few months ago. Sorry I missed Tuesday night. Wasn't looking very good, but we're still on the floor down at the house for a while. I think the first thing I'd like to do is just talk a little bit about what's going on nationally. I think it's really having quite the impact here, not just in our district, but statewide. And more importantly, I'm honored to have Karen Fan joining us here today. I've known Karen for a long time. I actually reached out to her and asked her if she would consider getting in this campaign. It would be my honor to have her as a seatmate. So I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. Right now at the state capitol, we are in a bit of a crunch to get a budget done very quickly. It's not going to get better if we wait till June. You all know that we have a sales tax that was referred to the voters here in May. What you're going to see is a 10 and 11 budget fix, because the 10 budget, which we're in now, is out of whack. We made some effort to kind of fix that up a little bit, but we still have hundreds of millions of dollars more to go. And the 11 crisis is huge, and it's right on top of us as well. What you will see come out in the House in the next 10 days, if not next week, is significant cuts to government in excess of $1 billion. This is not fluff cuts anymore. This isn't just sweeps. This is just rollover pieces. This is real hard, and I know you guys have seen what's going on. These are real cuts to government. Less than a year ago, when Jan Brewer first arrived, we had waited for Governor Napolitano to leave so that we can cut $1 billion out of government then. We have been making significant cuts in government, and folks are talking about this sales tax, so I want you to be clear so you understand what this is and how it got there. Governor Brewer, this is part of her plan to balance this budget. We had to drag Republicans kicking and screaming to get this sales tax, as you might imagine. But the reason I'm joining the 11 budget with this sales tax is the 11 budget is going to have the trigger in it, which means another $1 billion will come out of government on July 1st, and the voters will see where all these budget cuts are coming from. They'll be very transparent. You'll know exactly where they're coming from. So it'll be in excess of $1 billion in additional cuts that will come out of government if the voters say no. Cuts are now in the voters' hands, and so that's why we voted to move that forward. I am still on the edge about supporting the sales tax referral, and I want to tell you why. I think when I was here last time, we discussed Arizona's jobs recovery packet. Well, while some people were spending a lot of time trying to draft a sales tax referral, others were spending an awful lot of time trying to figure out how to create jobs. And I think if the Democrats haven't figured out what they've done wrong, is they should have been figuring out how to create jobs instead of figuring out how to put us further into debt. So we have a jobs recovery packet, and it wasn't just politicians pulling ideas out of their back pocket saying, let's do this, let's do that. We hired Elliot Pollack, a well-respected economist who's been around Arizona for 40 years. We've hired this guy. We hired his team. They traveled the country. They went to states trying to find out what it would take, what they do well, and then they came back here, surveyed business, traveled Arizona, find out what is the best and quickest way that we can get our jobs and our economy back and moving. We basically took that Pollack report and we put it in a bill form. And we passed this out of the House several weeks ago. So the reason I'm telling you I'm a little anxious about whether I'm going to support a sales tax referral is while I voted to send it there, and I'm happy to let the voters make these choices, I'm not going to be supporting this unless the governor puts her signature on the jobs packet. And that jobs packet, and the Democrats are mad. What else is new? They didn't like it the last time we rolled it out because it included tax cuts. But this time we took a little of their advice. They said, we can't vote for that. We're not in a position to have tax cuts because the economy, our budget's so bad. They said, you need to spread it out. So that's exactly what we did. The tax cuts start coming into play come in 2012, which is a year from, really, fiscal 2012 is a year from July. They start coming into play and they start staggering down over a 5-year period. There'll be, right now, there's individual cuts, there's corporate tax relief, there's property tax relief. There's a change in how we handle our enterprise zones. So there's no special treatment for anybody. It's about an opportunity, especially in rural Arizona, to bring businesses into these enterprise zones. I don't think I have to tell you what's happened in Flagstaff. I think we had a car company here, electric car company that we lost. Prescott Valley just lost 500 job opportunities from a service center that they lost to Texas. And it's all because, and if people are telling you we have a great tax system in Arizona, I'm telling you they are wrong. Our businesses get pounded on a regular basis. And if we were so good, they wouldn't be leaving California and heading to Texas. We're a little bit closer. So I encourage you to go to ArizonaHouseRepublicans.com. You will see the Arizona Jobs Packet bill on there. We have already sent it over to the Senate. When this budget is wrapped up, we have been told by the Senate President it's the first bill they're moving out. And the governor says he's in support. Now, we do recognize they want to make some changes to the jobs, to the training piece. We're all right. Make your changes. You're Republicans. We trust you. Let's get this thing moving so we can get people back to work. So I wanted to be clear on this sales tax. It's going to be a very distinct decision for our voters that they want to raise for 3 years the sales tax in Arizona for $800 million a year so that these cuts do not occur. So I wanted to share that with you. So if there's any misconception, I'll take any questions if you want. The last piece I wanted to express to you was I've seen some incredible statistics nationwide about what 2010 could mean for the Republican Party. So a little bit of optimism, a lot of caution. If we don't start bringing more people to our meetings and signing up and registering more voters, that this momentum may very quickly go away. And if you have any trends at all, and I mean I've seen political people will tell you, I have not seen these kind of numbers ever. Which are we just had a resignation or a senator from Nebraska. What's his name that just resigned? No, Evan Bach, Indiana. He just resigned. His numbers have changed by 20 points in 4 months. 20 points. He's just sick of the Democrat Party too. But I mean, the answer is this statistical data is so incredible. We have got to get our youth involved. I was at a Young Republicans meeting yesterday. I think there were about 8 youth, and the rest were all their parents. We need to get our kids. My daughter Kelly is going to be a voter here in March, so that'll be our 4th vote. So she's on your petition, by the way. So the answer is that if we get our youth vote, and we go back and get the Republicans who we left behind. Our party, when we were in charge, made mistakes, and I think we all know that. And that's why this party that's in charge right now is there. I don't believe we're going to be making these mistakes again. But we have got to go reach out to our Republican fellows that have left us. And then we have to educate our youth, because there is no better time to show them what this party, the Democrats in Washington, are doing to their future. And the numbers are very clear. And these young people want to be educated. So it's up to us. So I know as you go through your PC training and all this stuff this morning, it is very apparent that not only is the data and the statistics leading in our direction, but if we don't have the boots on the ground to make it all come together, we won't accomplish what we can accomplish. And if somebody had said a year ago that we had a shot at taking back Congress, would anybody here really believe that? The fact of the matter is we're not quite there yet, but people are actually talking about it, and we're not that far away. So the way this thing works is getting more people involved, and I'm pushing folks to start looking at your school boards, start looking at your fire districts, all these taxing districts. I get calls all the time. I just got my property tax bill. Why did my costs go up and my value went down? And I go, well, have you been to the board meeting lately? What's a board meeting? You got to flip over the card and look and see who's taxing you. And that's where the education is. We have got to get our Republicans to start thinking, you know what? We might want to be running some people for our school boards. And at least showing up. Because many of them don't really want to see us. Where I work during the week, we have these folks in the audience all the time, and cameras on us all the time. Everything's on wide open. A lot of these folks in these small boards, they do not want to see a lot of the public's eyeballs on them, because they have taxing authority and they will use it. And you need to be involved in that. I want to pay taxes. I want good fire. I want good schools, just like you folks do. We're not afraid of paying taxes. We don't want to just dump all our money in a tax. We'd rather create a job and let somebody else help us pay our taxes. So there's an incredible opportunity here in 2010. Without you folks, we have no opportunity to win because it's the boots on the ground that make this thing happen, and that's who you are. So please take a look at our jobs packet. Please get our youth out there and vote. It's you folks who are going to make the difference this year, and I thank you very much for all the work you've already done. It's been my honor to serve you. So thank you.